In December 1872, a merchant ship named the Dei Gratia was sailing through the Atlantic Ocean when its crew spotted something unusual on the horizon. A ship was drifting aimlessly. Its sails were partially raised. Its hull showed no signs of damage, and yet it wasn't responding to any signals. When sailors boarded the vessel, they found something deeply unsettling. The ship was completely empty. This vessel was the Mary Celeste, and every single person on board had vanished. The captain, his wife, their young daughter, and 7 experienced crew members. No bodies were found, no blood, no signs of violence, just silence. The Mary Celeste had left New York weeks earlier, bound for Italy, carrying a cargo of industrial alcohol. The journey was supposed to be routine. The weather had been rough at times, but nothing extraordinary. Yet, what the boarding crew found inside told a chilling story. Food was still on the table. Personal belongings were untouched. The cargo was intact. Even the ship's lifeboat was missing. But the ship itself was perfectly seaworthy. Why would trained sailors abandon a functioning ship in the middle of the ocean? That single question has haunted maritime history for more than a century. When the ship was brought to port, authorities launched an investigation. At first, suspicion fell on piracy or mutiny. But there were no signs of a struggle. Valuables remained. The cargo was untouched. If there had been violence, there were no traces of it. Some suggested the captain feared an explosion. The cargo, barrels of alcohol, could release fumes. A loud noise or pressure buildup may have convinced the crew that the ship was about to detonate. But if that were true, why didn't they return? The ship didn't explode. It didn't sink. It kept drifting. Another theory suggested extreme weather. Perhaps a sudden storm or waterspout damaged instruments and caused panic. But again, the evidence didn't fully support it. The Mary Celeste wasn't badly damaged. Its navigation tools were mostly intact. And the sea conditions at the time weren't catastrophic. Then came the more sensational explanations. Sea monsters, alien abductions, paranormal forces. These theories captured public imagination but lacked any real evidence. They turned the Mary Celeste into a legend rather than a case to be understood. But the truth, if it exists, is likely more human and more tragic. Historians now believe the crew may have temporarily abandoned the ship, planning to return once the perceived danger passed. If the lifeboat drifted away or capsized, the crew would have been lost at sea, while the ship continued alone. No screams, no witnesses, no closure. And that may be the most terrifying part. If stories like this fascinate you, where history leaves us with questions instead of answers, this channel is for you. Subscribe now, because the deeper we go into the past, the darker and stranger these real events become. The mystery of the Mary Celeste didn't end with the investigation. Over the years, newspapers exaggerated details. Writers added fictional elements. The story grew larger than the facts themselves. But beneath the myths, one reality remained unchanged. 10 people disappeared without a trace. No official explanation ever fully satisfied investigators. The ocean kept its secret. And that silence is exactly why the Mary Celeste still matters. It reminds us that not all tragedies explode into headlines. Some simply fade, leaving behind questions that history cannot answer. In an era before satellites, GPS, and instant communication, the sea was unforgiving. One wrong decision could mean complete erasure. Today, the Mary Celeste stands as a symbol of uncertainty, a reminder that even in a documented world, some truths remain unreachable. The ship was eventually returned to service, but its reputation was ruined. Wherever it sailed, it carried its ghostly story with it. And eventually, like its crew, the Mary Celeste vanished from history altogether. No final answers. No confirmed cause. Just an empty ship drifting through time. Because some mysteries don't need monsters or conspiracies. Sometimes reality is unsettling enough.